Josh was cycling down a street seat, mountains on both sides, and he was cycling. Then he took a break under a tree and had his lunch there. After that, he got back onto his cycle and started pedaling. After some time, something colorful was in front of him. It was a girl, like a young girl with a lot of balloons, lot of floating balloons, and he was holding them and standing right next to the street. So when Josh crossed him, the girl asked him if he wanted any balloons or not, and Josh politely said no and went his merry way. But after some time, he saw that girl again on the street, and his heart started beating, and he could feel a sharp pain inside his chest. And he got scared and started pedaling frantically. He was frantically looking backwards and seeing if he could outpace the girl or not. But when, exactly when the girl was no longer in his sight from behind, there she was again in the front. No matter what he did or how fast he pedaled, he couldn't get her out of her vicinity. Rather, in fact, he could see that exact spot, that exact tree where he had his lunch. Now he was getting more and more scared, and he could feel a sharp, like the pain in his heart or in his chest got even stronger, and it was like a needle was inside his chest, and it was also getting dark, and he lost his cool and slipped from his cycle. Now he was on the floor, and his leg was tangled because the cycle was on top of his leg. And he could see that girl was approaching him one step at a time. He could clearly hear her footsteps, and it was getting louder and louder and real as every moment passed. He couldn't get enough time to set up his cycle and start pedaling. So, in fear, what he did was, what he did was, he got, he just he crossed his leg and put his head inside both of his leg and covered his eyes. The girl got in front of him, and it was she was very close to him, and asked if asked in a really polite and really nice tone, a tone in other condition he would consider pleasant. Do you want any? He couldn't speak because he was scared. He was so scared that he couldn't speak, and the girl touched him for to grab his attention, and the touch wasn't like a normal human touch. It was so cold that the part of his skin that the girl touched almost got stiff. In fear, he couldn't move, he couldn't get out. He was just there in silence. Only the sound of the wind was his company. After some time, he peeped, and he saw that girl was still standing there. So he got jerked back in his previous form. After some time, he could hear a really weird sound, a really weird and loud sound, but he was too scared to look. So he was just standing there like that, like sitting there like that. And after some time, he heard that sound again and found the courage to look. And he saw two beaming yellow lights facing right at him. Then he heard the sound for the third time, and he realized it was a car honk, and he was blocking a truck's path. And the truck driver was this middle-aged man with a blue cap. He was giving Josh a confused look. Without saying anything, without asking for permission, he removed his cycle and got right. He removed his cycle and got right on the passenger seat. The driver asked if he wanted what about his cycle, asked about his cycle, and Josh pleaded him to take him to the city and told him to forget about his cycle. Josh reached home safely. safely.